Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Inga Cotton. I'm the founder and executive director of San Antonio Charter Moms, and these are Charter Moms Chats, where we've been going live on weekdays to talk about the issues, information that families need to keep their kids learning in spite of all the challenges of the pandemic. And as we're kind of moving to a new phase, we're talking about schools that are taking enrollment for the coming school year, or even taking enrollment now. And I'm excited. This is our first time featuring the School of Excellence in Education. And we have two wonderful guests to share all about the school and what's changing, what's new. And so let's see. So one of our guests is Myeisha Haywood, who I have not met in person yet, but I feel like I know her because we've had Zoom calls before. And I was trying to tell her what to look forward to about moving to San Antonio and what to find. So she moved here as part of the Ed Launch Fellowship with the City Education Partners, and she's now the interim superintendent at the School of Excellence in Education. So welcome to San Antonio, Myeisha. I can't wait to meet you and give you a big hug in person, but
I know.
I'm glad I've already kind of gotten to know you a little bit.
Yes. And then you were one of the first people that I actually met before I moved from Arkansas. So I'm like, there's a friend.
And we're so glad you're here. And then, I'm meeting a new friend today. So Tamela Harris is, she just flew in from Arizona, and she's part of an education network over there. Her title is Director of Academic Leadership. So Tamela is also part of the team that's helping to, put a new spotlight on the School of Excellence in Education. So thank you, Tamela.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Us. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a whole bunch of questions I want to ask you all, and we'll just dive in. So the first one is just if you could describe the mission of the School of Excellence in Education.
Yeah, I'll take that one, Myeisha. I think the mission of the School of Education is to ensure that students are learning at high levels, all students equitably. And for us, we have a long history. We were the first charter schools in San Antonio to be churning that mission out. We're very proud of the population that we serve. We really seek out students that really want to push their academic levels to the next level, and parents that want to be involved in that process. So I'm really excited to be a part of this venture.
Yes, and I'm just so honored to be able to be the interim superintendent and help with this work. Walking around as campuses, meeting the wonderful scholars, seeing the excellent education that they're receiving, it's like, wow, to be a part of that work. So our mission is to continue to expand and to continue to provide that educational of excellence for our students and wonderful opportunities. And to continue to grow our STEM programs. I do want you to know, our high school and our junior high schools, they are both, they both have STEM programs and they have been designated STEM schools from TEA. So, to come here and see the projects and the works and the thinking, the thinking outside the box of the students here at the Lee and Science campus, it's just amazing. And I just feel like all students should be able to have this type of opportunity.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that Tamela mentioned that School of Excellence Education. It's one of the OG charter schools in the San Antonio area that I think people may or may not know. So like when I went to high school back in the early 90s, there were no charter schools in Texas. It was private school or your neighborhood school and a few homeschoolers. And then in the mid 90s, that's when the charter law passed. And so there were a few pioneers, and School of Excellence Education is one of those early generation charter schools, and it's been around for a long time, but maybe a little under the radar. And then, so one of the questions I want to ask was if you could describe there's actually 4 campuses in San Antonio, which is I think people would be surprised. It's wait, there's 4 campuses, and I've never heard of them before. So could one of y'all address what the campuses are, what grade ranges they serve?
So we'll start with, we have Dr. Harmon W. Kelly Elementary School, and that one's located off of Ablate. That school is from pre-K to 6th grade. The wonderful thing about that campus is we have the bilingual program there. So Oh, you should come and see those classes one day, Inga, and watch. I love being in the pre-K and the kindergarten classes and watching our babies able to speak two languages, something Myeisha can't do, and I was like, I'm going to learn from you. So we have that program there. We have David C. Walker Elementary School, which is off of I-35, close to the Windcrest area. And that school also has the pre-K through sixth grade. And I want to point out one of the great things about C, it's not the one great thing, but one of the great things is our pre-K programs are a full day. A lot of pre-K programs are just half day, but at Kelly campus and the Walker campus, we do have the free pre-K program, which is all day. And then we have over at 1826 Bassey Road, we have our Science Middle School and junior high school. And then we have our high school, which is the Milton B. Lee Academy of Science and Engineering. So we have, and those of course serve our 7th through 12th grades. So we have 4 campuses, and eventually we'll have more. So come on, we're enrolling.
Yeah, I have not been so there were some schools where I was able to do a campus visit before the pandemic. School of Excellence Education is not a school I was able to get to before. So it's something I'm looking forward to, in the future, to be able to see it, and see like what the students are doing. I guess I was wondering if you could share some stories, like Myeisha, you talked about like visiting the campus and, to talk about like programs that are special, stories and examples of like student experiences, how students have been able to succeed, and in particular highlighting the STEM program.
We have a STEM program and the kids love it. But I before I get into it, Tamela and I talk about STEM, I want to talk about, because, I haven't been here the entire year. So I just want to talk about my experiences when I came on and I started meeting students. And the first student that I had met was a 12th grader, and she was excited. She was getting ready to go off to Michigan to college, and she was in our CNA program, because we do offer dual credits here with St. Philip's College, and that partnership is so amazing. So through that program, she's already licensed as a CNA. So of course, I'm like talking to her like, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do with that? And she was like, well, I'm able to actually work as I attend college, and I'm going to become a nurse. And I thought, wow, at one point I thought I was going to become a nurse, but then you find out you don't like blood. So I was like, wow, here this young lady is not even 18, and she already can get out into the workforce and work her way through college, because that's the type of environment, that's the programming that we provided here with that partnership that we have with St. Philip's College. So our students with the dual credit, they're able to travel over to the university throughout the week. We take care of that for them, and they don't have to pay for the classes. We provide the tuition for the classes, as well as the books and materials that they need. And they're able to select which courses do they want, and then we have the AP advanced placement courses here. So we truly have scholars. The word scholars is overused, but we have scholars here. They are genius. I also want to highlight just what I've been able to see in my short period of time being here. Last week, Inga, you probably saw some of my babies. They're not babies, they're in high school, but you probably saw some of my babies on the news, okay? So Fox was here, Channel 12 was here, interviewing 4 of our students for the first time in SEAT's history. We had 4 scholars that were signing for National Signing Day. And I was like, oh my gosh, what a blessing and what an honor to be here to experience that. One of the major things, I'm a parent of 4, that we want is for our kids to be able to go to college, or to be able to join the workforce or the military. And here you're able to see, when kids come to see, you're able to not even hear, oh, it's the School of Excellence, but you're able to see that excellence is truly happening, because look at our graduates, look at our students graduating with able to go into the workforce. Look at our students who are graduating and they're going to college and they have scholarships. We also offer UIL sports here. So our basketball team is something to be reckoned with. So Coach Lee is doing a phenomenal job here with our students. And to have these students who are just so brilliant, and then to have these conversations with them, to hear the student voice, because here we honor student voice, you know? And then I get to start my day here with my older babies, and then travel to my elementary schools where our kids are speaking dual language, and they're engaged in reading. Our teachers are high quality and they love the kids. And that's the thing that grabbed me about C is with talking to kids, no matter what the age, is when I say, so why have you chosen C? And they say, they care about me here. They love me. So, I mean, when you start thinking about all of those things here in C, you know, so we were part of that OG, and we were established in 1998, and we've been around for a long time, but we don't want people to forget that we are still here and we are still pushing out excellence.
Wow, those are amazing stories. Tell me more again about signing day. Like, what was it for college? It was.
Yes. So National Signing Day. I'm not okay. So I know people are watching, and Coach Lee's going to get me, but I'm really not a sports fan. Okay. All my years in education. So I'm like, I heard about it. I seen a little something, Coach. I don't know what that is. And he was like, Miss Haywood, you don't know about National Signing Day? These kids have scouts who's come out for them. They offer scholarships. They want them to go to their colleges. We have kids going to St. Louis. We have kids going to Dallas. And I'm like, yeah, I knew what that was. Just kidding, right? So we had these 4 kids who they've been recruited, and these colleges are willing to give them scholarships, and they want them there right off of our very own basketball team. So they signed with those universities, and they went on and made that commitment to those university on that day. And we get around and we cheer them on, and we just honor them and their sacrifice and their hard work, and we celebrate them, because that was so important for us to do that, because here at the School of Excellence in Education, we do want to make sure that every student is valued and every student is honored, and we celebrate all successes.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I have seen stories about because like I'm an avid newspaper reader, and I would see like students from School of Excellence Education profiled on the sports page, and I was like, that's interesting. You know, it's for such a small school, they have a big impact in sports, and it's really encouraging to hear about what's happening on the academic side as well, as far as like the dual credit and the AP. And you know, like as a parent, like I have a middle schooler and a soon to be middle schooler, and that's an age where like you start to worry about the launch. You know, like how do you prepare them for the world, and how do you talk to them about their passions? How do you get them to focus in on, oh, this is my goal, and this is the hard work I have to put in to get there, right? And you want a school that's going to be an ally in that, and like you know, give your kids those opportunities. And you know, and college is treacherous these days, right? They're like, you know, students come through with a lot of debt, or like if they change majors, or you know, there's a lot of ways to get derailed. And you know, if you already have a strong start, like you've already been taking college classes, if you already have credits to help you get you over the finish line, if you already can get a skilled job instead of a burger flipping job. Nothing against burger flipping, but you know how great it would be to work in your field that you care about, and you know, get closer to your dreams. So I think that's what all parents want.
And let me add that listening to what you said, because as a parent, you know how sometimes we want to tell kids, this is the career choice you're going to take. You know, we like to try to tell them and push them in that direction. At C, what we do is take on that attitude. Because like I had mentioned, the student voice, what we do is we talk to the kids. So when we try to figure out, okay, well, what are we going to offer? You know, we have those conversations with the students. I've already started working with the staff and having conversations with the students. And they were talking to me about like a student said, Miss, I really think that we need to start looking at HVAC. And I was like, HVAC? He was like, no, let me explain what HVAC is to you, ma'am.
I'm telling you, as somebody who's lived through many hot summers in San Antonio, HVAC are heroes. They are essential workers. I'm saying.
Yes. I said, baby, I know what HVAC is. I just recently paid to get the air conditioning fixed. And he started laughing. I said, and you know how much money that man got from just me? You know? And I said, I think that's wonderful. So the kids start talking to us, and he was like, we need to really focus on trade. That's something we're interested in. So the sports that we provide and offer, the activities that we have, when you start seeing the things that are coming out of C, that excellence isn't just coming from us. That's the excellence that's coming out of our students. So that's something that is exciting, because most times you go to a school and it's just, what came out of the adult's mind? We offer this. This is what we want to pay for. This is what we got. you know, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit. But that's not what we do here at C. We like to give our students the voice. And when we do our planning based on students, so when you start thinking about individualizing and focusing on student and student-centered, that is what we do. And I think that's why you'll see that we're still here. You know, after all of these years, we went from the OG to, yeah, we're here and we're not going anywhere. It's because of the strategies that we use and how we engage with our community and with our students. And that's just what we're going to always do. And I think you know me well enough to know that that's my passion. You know, I'm at the kids have my heart. So it's just, it's beautiful here. It is truly excellent.
Yeah.
You know, Myeisha, I want to add to that, if that's okay, that, you know, on top of ensuring that we hear the student's voice, we use that information to use it's an engagement tool, honestly. That's how we can get high levels of engagement. If you have that, the academics goes up. And so I think that because we allow students to participate and we get their opinions and we really listen to them, it really helps us connect, and those relationships are high. And that's how we get the students' commitment to wanting to be here and push themselves even harder.
That's, I think as my kids get older, it like it never really works. I mean, even with a 3-year-old, it never really works to tell them what to do. Like it helps to get buy-in, but like the older they get, then it becomes like really counterproductive to try to tell them. And that's where like, and I've seen schools where like they call it engagement, but it's really just like they're just like throwing a lot of stuff at the kids to see what sticks. But the student voice part is about the adults listening and adapting. And it sounds like that's what's happening. Like, yeah, you know, Myeisha's talking about like, you know, adapting, you know, like what programs are offered, and, you know, like, yeah, Tamela, like you said, building relationships with students so that they feel like they belong, they feel like they're cared for. That's really important. I'm looking forward to being able to come on campus in the future and like, you know, see that in action. Because I feel like I'm happy to get this, you know, get a taste of it. I guess one thing I wanted to ask y'all about is, you know, this has been a very strange year and a half, and, you know, like y'all have had to adapt to a lot of different things. And I'm wondering, like, you know, what things have been in place as far as, you know, keeping students safe on campus, like, you know, providing technology and, you know, access to learning remotely. Are there things that were successful out of that you might keep in the future? And just in general, are there changes coming? I know Myeisha kind of foreshadowed, like, you know, potential growth in the future, but yeah. So basically, like what changes have happened in the last year? What things were positive? What things are going to stick? You know, what thing can you forecast for us?
You know, I'll take that, Myeisha. You know, here at SEE, you know, the health and safety of students and staff is always our top priority. Just as we have adjusted with COVID-19 mitigation measures throughout the pandemic, depending on, you know, how things evolve, you know, the conditions as they change, and we had to also change with those conditions. We continue to enforce a strong mitigation plan that it includes face coverings, frequent sanitizing and hand washing, and social distancing measures. What we found out is students sitting in the cafeteria, it's not as loud because they're not at a table screaming down at the other end to another kid. So those are measures that we probably keep where students are facing in one direction. At the cafeteria table, students being able to have frequent hand washing, and masks will probably be optional for those students once we are out of the mitigation plan. But as SEE has demonstrated throughout the challenges of the past year, we are confident in our ability to continue educating our students safely and with the least possible disruption. Because again, it's very important to us that we keep them engaged, that we keep them, you know, academically sound and interested in what they're doing. And that is going to involve, you know, being flexible. But I think that communication piece with our community and with our families and with our staff and our students is key.
You know, that's really, like you said, Tamela, it's been a rapidly changing situation, and, you know, you have to, you know, look at what the facts are on the ground and do what works for that. But it does seem like we're on a positive trend, and, you know, the more students are able to interact with each other and with their teachers, you know, that helps with relationship building. But like you said, there might be things like keeping down the noise and increasing the hand washing, that those are good habits that we can keep for the long run. Yeah. Myeisha, was there anything you wanted to weigh in on about changes or?
No, Tamela just did so well covering it. I was like, yeah, she's got it all.
Well, good. Okay. So I always like to close out by inviting families, if they like what they hear, how can they learn more? But if do y'all have any kind of closing thoughts that you want to share before we get down to the nuts and bolts?
Myeisha, you want to give your closing thoughts, and I'll do the nuts and bolts, which I believe is enrollment process. The boring stuff is what you said.
I wasn't saying she's boring and that's why she got it all, but well, as you can see, even it's not just our students that has the good rapport. We work so well together here. The culture is amazing. I am excited and honored to be able to lead 4 wonderful campuses and to be able to be here to support this community and to support our teachers and our students, so our students continue to excel. I'm just honored, and I'm looking forward to next year. We've already began to plan. We're excited. We know that students will be back on campus, so we're continuing to think of how are we going to keep our kids safe next year? How are we going to engage our kids? How are we going to ensure that we are able to provide the interventions and the support and the accelerations that are needed? Because we do know there's been that loss of learning. So we don't only just think about safety, we think about those academics. We think about that loss of learning. And planning has already started happening with our administrative team, with our teachers. Today, we run a long call about professional learning for our teachers, because we want to make sure that when our kids come back, we come back with a bang. We're ready to roll. And our teachers are so excited to know, hey, all of our kids are going to be coming back next year. So I just want to say, hey, join us. We still, even though we've already had our lottery, we still have some seats at all 4 campuses. Our kindergarten still has slots, and I told you that it's all day. We still need some more players on our basketball team. So if you, even if you're not the best player, but I'm just telling you, if you got that great free throw shot, hey, come on down and join the success at SEE. But I just want to extend a hand and just tell the community that we are here. And we're excited, and we can't wait to see you. And Tamela, you got it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Myeisha. I'd like to also add, in addition to what Myeisha was saying, when students come back next year, we will be ready for that social emotional learning piece, because we know they've been gone, and it's been hard on our students, and we do realize that, and that is at the forefront of our minds in terms of making sure that we are well trained and versed with that, so that we can help the students adjust. And as Myeisha was saying, we can also stand to have some more players, not only on the basketball team, but at our campuses. And the best way to enroll is to go to our website, and I will post the website in the chat right now. Families can apply online, or they can go to each campus. We have registrars at every campus, and they can actually get a physical application if they'd like. But enrolling, we're definitely already on that trajectory, trying to get those seats filled, and I will put the application in. All we need is for families to start the process, and once you start the process, you are enrolled. The other pieces we will pick up, at the end of that registration process. But Inga, do I just put it in the chat? How does everyone?
So I was able. I set up a banner, and it's up on the screen right now. So it's excellence-sa.org. And also I want to mention, in the description of the video is a link to an enrollment guide blog post that we just published today. And so that has also a link to the application, and it's got links to maps, so you can find where the campuses are in town, the campus phone number, things like that. So the enrollment guide blog post has lots of great information. I've learned a lot over the past few weeks of, digging in, learning more about the School of Excellence in Education, because I knew it was there, but it was always kind of under the radar, and I knew it'd been around for a long time. But just wasn't getting the attention it deserved. So it's up on the screen right now, excellence-sa.org.
Well, thank you so much. This has been a great opportunity for SEE, and we're really excited to get these students in and learning.
Yeah, no, I'm happy about this partnership. I hope I can keep sharing, and I'm looking forward to doing some campus visits in the future. So it's been great getting to know you all. And Myeisha and I, we're even before we got on air, we were starting to make plans. So we need to make some plans. How about you to enjoy San Antonio?
I want to throw one more thing out there because we're telling parents all about our schools, but I think it comes best from our teachers. So to hear about what's happening in those classrooms. So on April 29th at 5:30, we're going to actually have a virtual parent information meeting. So I definitely want, if you parents and families and even students, if you want to know more and hear about like what's really happening in those classrooms, because they can explain it way better than we can. And then you have a lot of different questions. That will be a great opportunity for you at that time. I also wanted to make everybody aware that our Dr. Harmon W. Kelly Elementary School is going to have a kindergarten roundup. And I will, if you go to our Facebook page and to our web pages, you'll be able to see those dates, which will be in May 19th and May 20th. We'll be having those kindergarten roundups for Kelly. So there's so many different opportunities for you to be able to engage with our schools and to get an opportunity to find out more about our schools and visit our campuses and with our administrators.
And we shared the April 29th virtual info session. We shared that on social media, so on SA Charter Moms and in the SA Charter Moms discussion group. I'll be sure I'll find the post about the kindergarten roundup and share that in the group as well. So for anyone listening, if you're not already a member of the Sanitary Charter Moms discussion group on Facebook, it is like the one-stop shop for finding out what's happening with schools. And we talk about enrichment and camps and, parks, museums, the whole everything. We have memes, we got jokes. It's just a place. And dads are welcome too. So yeah, it's your hub for education information. And we've got the details about the School of Excellence in Education virtual info session. And yeah, I'll add the kindergarten info as well. So yeah, it's got to stay informed, man. There's a lot going on, but it's exciting. All right. Well, this has been great. I thank you so much for joining me on Charter Moms Chats, and I will be in touch. There's lots more to learn.
I thank you for this opportunity, and it's always great to talk to a friend. And I hope that we get back together soon, and I can share even more about the great things that's happening at SEE.
That sounds great. All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.